Okay, guys. I'm here live today. And unlike other days, today's live is going to be chatting. That means I'll be answering some of the random questions people will be asking me, but at the same time, today I'm also inviting people. Anyone who wants to join live with me here will have that opportunity. If you are here, you want to be live, you have to make sure that you have a microphone working well, and also you must be in a position where your camera is on and you are not in a place where you are in the loud music, whatever it is. I can invite you to join live. So that is very interesting. I haven't been live for quite some time. And at the same time, we know now internet is just for the people who are in Instagram, people in Facebook. It is down. So what should we do? We are ending being here together on YouTube. Okay, so tell me first of all where you are watching this live stream today. Today is already in the month of March, meaning, what does that mean? It is the month of March, means we have less than almost 60 days left for the diversity visa lottery results to be out. The results for the diversity visa will be out on May 4th. It will be on Saturday, noon Eastern time, the time of East Coast, where the results will be out. What does that mean? It means we have the month of March, 30 days, whatever it is, 31 days. We have the month of April, and then May is when the results are out. You will be getting either of the two results. Either you are the winner of the diversity visa or not. Whatever the results are, remember always what is your goal. Go to original plan. Why did you apply for the diversity visa? Do you truly inside you want to go to the United States of America or to go to live abroad? Or you just apply because your friends told you to apply? But if you truly want to go overseas, it means take diversity visa lottery as just some catalyst, something to give you a motivation to also look for other opportunities. Millions of people are applying for the diversity visa lottery. Minimum, let's say we can say about 20 to 30 million people. The previous year, the DV 2024, the previous DV lottery, we had over 24 million people who applied for the diversity visa lottery applications. And obviously, 142,800 something, almost 143,000 were the winners of diversity visa lottery. And out of those 143,000, only about how many will be the people given the visa? 55,000. So it is a bigger thing. So while you are applying for the diversity visa and you hope you're going to be the winner, and I wish you to be the winner, but at the same time, you have to look for the bigger picture. That if I don't win the DV lottery, I'll keep applying for the diversity visa lottery, but also I'll keep looking for other opportunities beyond the diversity visa lottery. You have to know various ways you can use to find opportunities. You have to find ways to, what I can simply say, to just excel in your life, to develop or improve your professional profile. Remember, when you are going for any type of visa at the US Embassy, how do you increase the chance of getting the visa? Especially when you are applying what we call the non-immigrant visas. Non-immigrant visas are the visas you come to these countries for the purpose of just coming here thinking that after coming for a short period of time, I'll be going to my home country. You come as a student, visiting, work, whatever, tourism, conference, all those are non-immigrant visa. But if you are married to a US citizen, you are processing for the green card, you are winning the green card lottery, you come as immigrant, meaning from day one, you are coming here as immigrant. Remember, in immigration perspective, immigrant is a person who is a permanent resident. Not everybody, because you are in America, you are immigrant. Even if you are staying 10 years, if you are not into the right category of immigration status, you are not. So while you are getting ready to apply for the diversity visa lottery, just go and review your professional profile. That my profile, if I don't win the green card lottery, can I apply the visiting visa and I can be able to get it? If you're not able to get the visiting visa, why? If there is a conference, can I convince the consular officer that I have the qualifications of being given the visa because I'm a trustworthy person? So those are the things you need to pay attention to. So don't just after the results of the DV lottery, you don't win, tomorrow you're going to apply for the visiting. You don't have any documentation. You haven't prepared yourself. You don't have any supporting documents. So those are the things I want to make sure that you understand before you go to check the results. I'm going to answer some of the few questions, but at the same time, today I would like to also just to invite people. I haven't invited the people to come on my stream here to ask the questions. So I'm going to post the link. I'm going to post the StreamYard link. This link, which is on the screen here, which is that one, is StreamYard, that link. If you click that link, you can request to join live here. And once you are live here, you can ask your question and then I can answer live. So at that time, when you come here, I will be able to wear my this one and to be able to do that. There is a question from Hassani Sharif. Hi, I'm the DV winner of the Diversity Visa Lottery. My case number is AF, that means is Africa, 64,000. My region is Liberia. Oh, the country is Liberia, but the region is Africa, AF. When will I receive the second notification letter? When you say 64, you mean it's 64,000 or 64, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 50 to 64, less than 100. If you are talking about just 1, 2 to 64, obviously you're supposed to have the second notification letter, unless others you delayed to submit the DS260. But if your number is 64,000, your interview will be likely in July or August. That is the time you will be able to be going for the interview. Any person who wants to join the live stream with me, to chat with me, is allowed to go and click the link I posted on the comment. And on that link, you can be able to request to join. And in order to join, you have to make sure that, yeah, I see some people are coming here now. Okay, so let's go and add some people here. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine. My name is Catherine.
Yes.
I was asking if, for example, I was selected for DV 2025. Yes. I'm a single mother of 2 kids.
Yes.
Now, I cannot be able to take care of them because one is 5 years old. I mean, one is 6 years old and the other one is 2 years old.
Yes.
By the time I'm coming, one is 3 and 7. So I was wondering, can I leave them and then come work, or if I petition for them, is there a possibility that they cannot come, or it's a guarantee they will come when I petition for them? And how long will it take?
That's a very, very good question. And this is what I usually tell people. When you win for the DV lottery, you have won the DV lottery, you have to have a good plan. Because some people, like you say, you are a single mother, 2 children. One is under the age of 5, one is above the age of 5. Why am I putting the age of 5? Because the issue of schooling here in the United States. So if you come with the children who are a single mother, how are you going to deal with the child care? How are you going to deal with the kids go whatever when you go to work? It is very, very expensive to have a daycare here. The cheapest amount will be 1,200 maybe per month to have one child to get the daycare. The one which at the age of 5 and above, that will get a chance to go to where? Will be going to school from maybe 8 to 4. So that can be giving opportunity. But the challenge is it will be difficult for you. So you have the option to do either of the two things. I'll give you 2 options and you can choose one or 3 options. Number 1, you can process everybody, come together to the United States. And once you're in the United States, what you will do is after arriving here, they'll get you the green card and they can go back. Then you can take them back home. And when they go home, that means they already have the green card and you can file what we call advance parole. That means you give the permission to live outside the United States for more than a year. If you want to do that way, that means they can go continue school there until you are stable. That is one way, but it's still expensive to bring them here to return them back to Africa. Number 2 would be this way. While you are filling the DS-260, the visa form, you can say that these kids are my kids. They are not coming with me now. They'll come in a late data, whatever. I mean, whatever it is. So that means you don't need to process the interview even of 1 or 2 years. But at that time when you are going to do, they're not coming under the DV lottery. They will be coming as the kids of the green card holder. If you are a green card holder in the United States, you are allowed to petition for your children. The process takes 1 to 2 years. So most likely it will be a 2 years process. So it will be possible to do that. So, but I don't advise you, if you're a single mother, you have 2 children, both under the age of 10, to come with them, both of them here, because you don't have the supporting system. You don't have the money to start whatever. At the beginning, you need maybe 2 shifts or 3 shifts sometimes to be able to be stable until you can be able this way. You can be here. You can be here and get money here and support them well for the maybe 1, 2, 3 years there for a good school, whatever the money you can be able to send in Kenya or Tanzania, Ghana, whatever country you are, it will be able to do that way. But to come with them all at once, it will be very, very difficult for you to be able to handle that.
It will be hard to leave them, but I'll have to because I'll have to because I cannot be able.
Because it will be even more difficult to be alone with kids.
Thank you so very much.
Single parent is difficult whether you are in Africa or over here. But here there is not that community we have in Africa or in Asia, where you can ask for the neighbor, you can have someone to help you. Everybody can be a parent to your children. But here you don't have that. Don't have that opportunity. So it will be difficult for you to survive with the 2 kids alone.
Thank you so much, EBM. Hoping for the best 2025.
And all the best for you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have another guest. How are you, sir?
Hi, EBM. I'm good. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, yeah. So firstly, I'd like to thank you. Well, I was a winner previously. I reached the USA in the year 2022 by your help. And a lot of information that I got. Thank you so much. And I was just wanting to ask one question. So my parents also won green card lottery.
Wow, your family is so lucky.
Yeah. So they are actually planning to come in July. The thing is their passport, they are from Fiji, by the way.
Yes.
So their passport is expiring in November, right?
There will be no problem.
Yeah. So the passport that is already stamped, it's the same one that is expiring. So if she wants to renew, right? And by the way, the visa is already stamped on the previous passport, which is obviously getting expired. So if she wants to renew, can she have both the passports attached and, going through the...
Yes.
Okay.
So usual, I don't know about the Fiji plans, how it is, but in the US, when you renew the passport, they'll give your passport back, but they put a small hole at the back on the hardcover. They put in a small hole that you don't use this one. That means it is already that way. But you'll be using both passports because the passport with the visa, it's already there, and you'll be using the current one. So at the airport, when you arrive here, they will stamp anything they want to stamp, whatever, they'll be stamping on the newer passport. But the old passport should be current because it has the visa.
Yes, because when you come to the US airport, when I reached LA, they took my documents, which I got from the embassy, and also they stamped and gave me a temporary temporary permanent residence, right? They signed on the on the side of the passport, on the visa page. So I'm just thinking, like, if the visa is already on the previous passport, which is already punched in a hole, I'm just thinking that, I mean, if it's invalid, would they still sign that, or they'll sign the new one?
Most likely they'll sign on the newer one.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking, because they'll use the newer one because they say it's a current. This one is already not in use, but it has a current passport visa. For instance, for me, I had this situation. I had a Kenyan visa for 5 years, but my passport was not expired, but it was because I traveled a lot. It has so many stamps, it was full. So I had to get a newer passport. So when I travel, I go with both. So I show this the passport, but they stamp on the newer one. Like every immigration stamp, whatever, they put on the newer one, but I still put on they have to show on the old one. Yeah, so there'll be no problem at all. Which state do you live? Which state do you live?
Oh, I live in Oregon, in Portland. Yeah. So
that's a nice place over there.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate for sharing. Thank you. I really appreciate. And for people, whether you are a green card lottery winner, I'm giving example, or let's say you are a green card lottery winner, or any person, I don't care whether you are in Africa, you are in Asia, you are in Europe, and in one way or another, you wanted to share your story, something you think that it will be able to help other people. So I'm creating something which is here on the website, but I haven't posted yet. But it will be to collaborate with EBM, meaning I want people who have stories, different stories, like you are the lottery winner, you are here as a student, you are in Europe, you are in Africa, you are a YouTuber, whatever it is, you will be able to create. Let me show you. This is the form I'm creating. I've created this form where someone will come here, will put the name. It will be here under the name collaboration. I haven't posted it there yet, but this is what will be: put your number in the country of residence where you live now. If you are from another country, are you a content creator? Whether you are in yes or no, but what your social media account? What do you want to share in terms of your experience? It can be you are a business owner, you want to share some other, you want to share some challenges, whatever it is. You want, so for me, I speak English and Swahili, so we can have interview in either of the two. And you have to acknowledge that once you do this one, your videos will be shared on EBM platform in that way. So that is something I want to share, because we want so many people to have these kind of stories in that way or another. Okay, how are you, Frank?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you, Mr. EBM?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm very, very fine. I've got two questions.
Where are you from, first of all?
I'm from Tanzania.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got two questions. The first one, is there anything known as the second selection in the lottery? Because I have heard people saying that once you check for the result when the day they are released, unfortunately, if you are not selected, if you check again maybe 1 month later, you might find that you have been selected. So I would like to know, is this rumor true or not? Because this is my second year. I've just applied for the green card last year. Unfortunately, I didn't get, so I'm waiting for the result on May 4th this year.
Okay.
And the second question, let's assume that you are an immigrant, you are already in USA as a DV lottery winner. Let's say you are doing jobs maybe at the maybe jobs which earn you $20 per hour, $15 per hour. So how are you going to contribute to the tax, which include those which we are saying federal tax here, state income tax? Because for what I know that once you have worked maybe 10 hours, you are given maybe $200 every hour. You are given cash, the money. So how will the state is going to charge you their taxes while you have been given cash? And as you know that USA is a very big country, they can't locate you and come to your house. So that's my question, Mr. EBM.
Those are very good questions. So let me start with your first question. Is there second selection in the DV lottery application? The results are out in May. You check the results, you are not the winner. If you come 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, a month, 2 months later, will the results change? No. All the results of the diversity visa lottery are appearing on one time. So the results for this year will be on May 4, 2024. So if you come, we check results in October, you are the winner. The date of the instruction is still the same date. Doesn't matter when you check the results. All the letters, the winning letter for the DV lottery is like this way. It is written, it will have the date. For instance, this was May 5th, 2015. So all the results will have the same date, regardless whether you see the results today or you check the results any day. The results will have the same date. So all the results are released in the same day. And there is no any possible explanation, any reason of normal reason why should they put in the second selection. On the first day, they selected 3 times than the number of the visas available. So for instance, the previous DV lottery winners who are processing now to get the visa, the DV 2024 winners, they selected 142,800 and something, which is closer to the total number of winners is about 143,000. So why should they have second selection? The visas are 55,000 visas. Winners are already 144,000. That's why you will see case numbers. We say high case number. Someone who's 2024, 2025, AF, 120,000. Already that number is there. Why should they give second selection? For what purpose? So the number, if you check the results today, you are the winner, it's over. Maybe someone didn't put the correct information and found it is not the winner. And then, oh, maybe I check it correctly, I'm the winner. But basically, there is no second selection, such a thing. It has never been happened. People say, oh, I checked the first time I didn't win. The second time I found out I was the winner. No, there's no second selection. That is the question which people should be aware of. The second question you ask is about the taxation. You are working here $15 per hour, $20 per hour. How does the federal government, state government get their taxes? So you are not getting paid, first of all, on the hand by cash. If you hear someone, oh, I get my cash, that is called under the table. That means the IRS, the Internal Revenue Authority, I mean the IRS, the authority for taxation, doesn't know that you are working. But if you are working, you are in the system, you get paid. Already the money you are getting paid in the paycheck after every 2 weeks. You get paid after every 2 weeks. After every 2 weeks, the check you get has already been deducted. The federal tax, the state income tax, social security, whatever, all deduction have already been taken. So the one you get is the full amount you have already paid the tax. That's why you usually say if someone is employed, they get more tax than if you do the business. If you do the business, the IRS doesn't take the taxes. You take the money, all of it. Then at the end of the year, you come to do deductions that I have this money. I bought a phone for business. I bought a car for business. I bought this for business. I paid this stuff. The remaining as a profit is when they charge. But if you are an employee, they deduct it right away from your paycheck. So the amount you get is already paid. But after the end of the year, so for instance, beginning of January, this 2024 is a tax year up to April 15, you are allowed to file tax. When you say to file tax is you take how much you got, how much the federal and the state income took the money. They are going to look, did we take a lot of money or we took enough in the required amount? If we took a lot of money, we pay back certain amount. That's what we call tax return. You get certain money. If we took a small amount of money, we'll charge you more. We want money from you. So sometimes after the end of the tax, depending if you are single, you are married, how many hours, how many deductions you have, it depends. If you have a child or children, obviously, no matter what, in most cases, you get a tax return. Why? Because there is what we call child tax credit. The government gives you a certain amount of money because you have a child. At the moment, it's $2,000 per child. So if you have a child, obviously you get a certain amount of tax return. If you don't, and you are single, sometimes you don't pay, or you owe to the government. Or if you get, you can get 1,000, while someone with a child can get 10,000, for instance, as a tax credit in that particular way. So there are those kind of things, and it depends also how much money you make. Someone who makes a lot of money, or someone who makes a small amount of money. So there is a tax bracket, and there's so much stuff for someone to understand with those ones. So they're not coming on your house, but you have to pay. And if you owe, that means you have to pay the government certain amount. If you don't pay, they take it to the correction. But at the same time, the next tax season, if you have more money, they take them away. And you can go to jail if you don't pay tax. If they catch you, either you maneuver. That's why you see the case of the son of Joe Biden, Hunter Biden. One of the bigger cases is the tax problem. He didn't file correct tax, and he lied on the taxes. So those are the things people should understand when we talk about the tax. And immigrants, you have, no matter what, and this is something else on the tax. Even if you are green card holder or a US citizen, you go to live in whatever country you are in Tanzania, you go to live in Kenya, you live in Uganda, you must file the tax in the US. It doesn't matter whether you're in the US, whether you are outside of the US, you still have to file for the taxes. So I believe I answered your question correctly in detail.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Mr. EBM. I really appreciate your help.
Thank you so much. Okay. Hello.
Hello, Mr. EBM.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
That's great. My name is Noel. Yes. I'm from Angola, Lubango. And first of all, I want to say thanks for all the information that you are giving to us, especially for us here in Angola. I'm very fan of you. I love all the videos you made, especially for those who talk about the DV lottery. And actually here in Angola, we didn't knew, especially here in Lubango, we didn't knew much about DV lottery. Since we start, me and my family and my neighbor here in my area, we start following you and watching your video. Actually, we are knowing more about DV lottery, and it's been a very important information that we are taking in all the video that you are putting available. And thanks for you. We have applied for a DV lottery 2025, and we are here waiting for the results. Hope we got select and something like that. Hope everything's go good. And for today, I have one question for you.
Yes.
I want to know, for us here in Angola, if we got selected for a DV lottery, and if God wants, we go to America, how can we survive without English? Because here in Angola, we don't have a English as a as a primary language.
Portuguese.
Many, I think, more is not more than a 10% of our population can speak in a very good English. Actually, a level 1, less like that. And if we got selected, Angola, thanks God, Angola is one of the eligible country. And if we get selected and we go to America, how are we gonna survive there without English?
Yeah.
That's my question for today.
That is a very good question. How are you going to survive in America without knowing English, or very little English you have? Your background, you are from Angola, you speak Portuguese. The same can be someone from Tanzania speaks Swahili, someone from Kenya speaks Swahili, does know English, or someone from another country. The good thing about America, number one, is the country with so many diversities, people from every background. And that is what makes America great compared to many countries, which they are most one culture. So with that one, there is awareness if you don't speak English, because there are so many immigrants, whether they have been here 50 years, 100 years. So majority of people, they understand if you don't speak English. That's number one. Number two is this one. When it comes to the jobs, there are so many companies or so many jobs, they don't involve talking on daily basis. Because remember, this is a super industrial country. So no matter what, there are so many jobs. You can be working, maybe, let's say your job, let me give you an example. You are working at, let's say, Walmart. Your job is just to click just how many people have entered in Walmart. That's all. So if your job is to click, the thing is counting the numbers, you don't need to talk to anybody. Your job is, I'm giving you an example, when you start, I'm not saying for the future. When you start, you are a dishwasher. What do you need? You want to wash the dishes, you know, they give the instructions, you know the button, whatever, you are putting the things, life continues. You are working at the warehouse, depending on the nature of the warehouse. Some, they don't involve talking. Your job might be just, they put it number 2, you put 2 shoes, whatever it is. I went one time in 2013, around that time, 2013, it was 2011, whatever, 2011, 2012, beginning of the year. I remember I had very financial difficulties, so I was working in one of the warehouse, which was producing bottles, plastic bottles. In that warehouse, only 2 people spoke English, me and one kid from high school. But the entire team, they spoke Spanish. So they had what they needed to do, but the job was easy. Even if, let's say they didn't speak, the job was easy, was to make plastic bottles. So whatever the bottle is coming up, you put in the cover, you count, maybe they are 12, you put in the box 12, you put in the box separately. So there are jobs to start that one. And number 2, because you are already in the English speaking country, you will start picking up so fast compared if you are outside the country. I come from the country where we speak Swahili and English. I have a degree, we spoke English, but the English we have is bookish in Africa. The English we have in Asia is bookish. Here is spoken English. So the English we are talking in our countries are technical. Oh, you know, this is imperialism, is so exploitative. How many people in our countries over there can you talk about Manchester City and Manchester United, the game, how it was in English without using the technical terminologies? That is the normal English. So people here, they talk the normal English, like tomato, about whatever, just a normal conversation, not the complicated about photosynthesis or whatever, those kind of terminologies. So while you are here, because people are speaking, you will be talking, even if it's whatever. Within a month, you will see improvement. Within like a short time, you will see improvement. Cristiano Ronaldo is a prime example. He went to play for Manchester United. He doesn't speak English, even a single word. After a year, he speaks English. Even if now he speaks English, but he's not like Rooney or whatever. But so the only thing is, don't be shy of your accent, because some people, they want to come here, they feel that they don't know how English it is because they don't speak American accent. They don't speak British accent. Be who you are. If this is your accent, just speak, people will understand you. So that is what I want to make sure that when we're here, with the time, you'll be able to improve. And again, if you want, there are so many free classes for English as a second language. Most of the community colleges, they have, the adult education, they have English classes for free if you want to do that. So you have so much resources to do that. News is in English, whatever it is in English, whatever. So because of that, you'll be able to improve. So don't worry at all. Within 6 months to a year, you'll be somewhere very, very far. Yes, at the beginning, you'll be looking for the jobs which doesn't involve the talking too much. Even myself at the moment, there are jobs I don't take because why should I take the customer service over the phone to be speaking on the phone? Myself, if I meet it, it's not racism. I cannot understand someone is having accent of Indian accent. I cannot understand. I need to speak to a supervisor. So it's not just, so assume you are told, I cannot understand you. Can I speak to American? And you are American too, but you have accent. You have to, so sometimes I'm going to be upset. But all in all is this way. When you are here, you have accent. So to avoid certain things, for me, even right now, there are jobs I don't want to waste my time to be on the phone because I have accent. I still have certain British terminologies. I know my weakness. I know my strength. You cannot take Lionel Messi to be a goalkeeper. You cannot take Lionel Messi to be a defender. So you have to know what is your strength so that you can excel. So with the time, you'll be able to excel without a problem. But at the beginning, you'll be strategically looking for jobs which don't involve maybe speaking a lot, will be more action more. So there are those kind of jobs. So don't worry at all. No. If you come here, you have limited English. America, and if let's say some people they decide, okay, let's say you speak Portuguese. If you go to Philadelphia, for instance, they have the highest number of Brazilians speaking Portuguese. So in Philadelphia area than almost any other place in America. I was in San Diego. There's a place called Ponte Loma in San Diego. That area, like there are so many Portuguese than any other place in San Diego. So there are restaurants, Portuguese restaurants, there are whatever. So you can start to have community of those people who went through. And because of speaking Portuguese and Spanish, they are very, very close. So for that case, you don't have a problem because Spanish is the most common language in the US. If you go to California, Texas, New Mexico, all the border states there, and even if it's not border states, people can understand more Spanish. School that teaches Spanish is a normal language nowadays. So that is the advantage for you to come here. You can, as long as you don't feel shy, make a mistake, there's no problem. Speak, practice, whatever, you'll be able to succeed.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. EBM. I have another question.
Yes.
Another question is about the weather.
Yes.
It's about the weather. We know here in Africa we don't have a much low weather. Our weather we think is normal weather. Is actually here in Angola, Namibia, in South Africa, the weather doesn't go low than 0 degrees. And in America, we know that there is states that there is a very low weather. Yeah, and we're gonna have a big problem to face this weather situation. I want to know if there is some states of the United States that the way that the weather can be a little bit comparated than African weather.
Yes, that is also another good question when you're comparing the weather. So the good thing about United States, it is it's a country. Kind of like a continent. It has all weather. Whatever you want, it is here. So, number one, you can strategically look which state you are going to live. For instance, if you go to Arizona, they have desert-like weather. So there is no snow, it is just like desert. California, no snow at all. I mean, there is mountains, sometimes there is small whatever, but normal people where they live, there is no snow. So it cannot go below even like 20 degrees Celsius. I'm giving example. When you here we call it, in Fahrenheit, it can be 60 maybe. If you go to Georgia, for instance, there is no, I mean, technically, you go to Texas, there is no snow. You go to Florida, you're just like in Zanzibar, like you're in vacation place. So depending wherever you want to live, there is that kind. Then there is the snow part. There are states with snow. Even my state has a snow. But the snow we have here, if you compare, when you say there is a snowstorm, if you compare to the states which are closer to Canada, those states near to Canada, they are extremely, extremely cold. When you say snow can be even higher than a human being, like more than 6 feet inches. But here it can be like the entire winter, like this winter, we have snow more like maybe 4 or 5 times the entire winter season. But sometimes you might not have the winter. I mean, you don't have the snow, but it's cold. For instance, let me give you an example. If you look to, this is the month of, this is Kansas area where I live, Missouri. So if you look, this is the month of March. The weather today is 24. Sorry, today is 15. It's 15. But yesterday, it was a little bit warmer, 24. It was 27. It was 23. But see what is going to happen in a few days. Like last week, it was just like 24. Then it went to 3. So that is how it is. Sometimes the weather, it can go up and whatever. But this is just between... so when it is 20, this is good. It's good because now we are almost at the end of winter. And then by the month of April, end of March going April, it is starting becoming like 25 going to 30, summer, spring, whatever. So it's just not, the winter is not the whole time. It's mostly from October or November, depending on the month which state you live. It goes up to February, March, and then we go back to the normal life. So that depends. But again, if you are the developer, a winner, sometimes you don't have much of the option that I have to go to live in California. First of all, California is very expensive. Why do you need to go to live there? So you see, it's expensive. Apart from the federal tax, the state tax of California is high. You go to Florida, it's very expensive. So you end up in a state that has snow. So obviously, the first snow, it will be, the first winter, it will be harder on you. But obviously, the life here, inside there is heater. You go in the car, there is heater. Whatever the building you get into, there is heater. So you'll be okay indoor. But if outdoor, it will be cold on you. So the challenge will be outside. And especially when you are new in America, you want to be outside most of the time. But in the life here, you stay inside most of the time. So there is that challenge at the beginning. But the first winter, the second winter, you'll be okay. Because you don't have much of the option like, okay, someone who say, I have the host is in Florida, you are going to Florida. But once you are there, after 1 year, 2 years, you want to move to another state, it's up to you. After knowing which state is good for you, you can move to another state you think is better. The only caution I give to people is, don't go to a state which is too expensive to live. You have to survive with 3 jobs. That is not a good place to go. Don't go to a state which is just you go there for the matter of showing off. You are not coming to America to show off anybody. You are coming here for economic reasons. So don't forget who you are, why you are here. To take a picture, you are in Miami Beach, whatever. So what if you're in Miami Beach? Better go and stay in Alabama over there, but you have a good life. You have money to save. You have money to send to your relatives. You have something to invest here or to invest in your home country. So that when you retire, you have a better life than showing off. So at the beginning, you might have those kind of challenges. For me, it's not about the cold, what I'm upset about winter. What I'm upset more about winter is the dark starts early. At 4, there is dark outside. So my brain, for all the years I've lived in Africa, when I see dark, 2 things: eat, sleep. So those are the things. Up to now, I've been for 15 years, going 16 years in America. I still have that challenge, like when it is dark, and even not to me, even the Americans themselves, the depression is more during the winter time because the dark comes early. People, like, you have to stay inside, you have to watch TV, whatever. So you get more depressed in the winter than summer or spring. The lights is outside, you see, whatever. So those are the things you have to consider when you come here. But no matter what, after 2 winters, the first year, the second year, you get used to it and you'll be able to survive. You will not have the regret why
Thank
you
you.
came to America. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you a lot, Maximilian.
You're welcome. Thank
you. Thank you. Thank you, Master EBM. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, have a nice evening over there. When any person is trying to join here, make sure when you click the link, you write your name, you put accept audio and the microphone. You have to accept. There is a link I put on the comment. You can click that link to join. You have to accept the microphone and the camera. If you don't accept, I will not be able to add you. So you'll be able to hear me, but you cannot be able to join. There is a question from Joseph. Both wife and husband also meant to produce immunization card. If they don't have them due to having deceased parents, what happens if you're supposed to show the immunization cards and you don't have it? So if you are the diversity lottery winner, or if you are going to get a green card of any kind, any particular methodology you are using, whether you are married to a US citizen, whether you are sponsored by work, you must do what we call the medical exam. And the medical examination, among the things they are going to look at is, one among the things is about the immunization. Majority of people, we don't have our immunization records. You don't have the records that you had this type of vaccination while you were maybe 1 month old. The current generation, they have because the parents keep them. So if you don't have, they will give you that vaccination again. There are certain doctors or certain places they can be able to verify, to test you if you have those vaccination. But there are some, they have to give you certain vaccination so that you'll be able to do. So no matter what, they'll be able to determine that. And if you are filling the DS-260, the immigrant visa form, there is a question. Do you have the vaccination according to the US government? The answer, it has to be yes, because whether you have or they don't have, the medical examiner will be able to give you certain, to verify and give you certain vaccination which are needed in the United States. Yes, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Yes.
Please, I have a preoccupation. I'm I'm calling from Cameroon.
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing fine, sir.
Yes.
Please, I'm a DP selectee from the 2024 list. I submitted my DS-260 in July. But as of now, I've not received a second notification letter. I don't know whether it is because...
What is the range of the case number?
My case number is 6,000.
6 or 60,000?
6,000, sir.
6,000,006, like 50,000 is 60,000.
It's 06,000. I have 4 zeros in front of my case number.
Okay, so you have to wait until around June, July. Most likely it will be July or August interview.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
You are so welcome, and congrats for being among the DV lottery winners.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm good, thank God.
Yes. How are you?
I'm fine. So right now I am in Rwanda. I'm a Liberian. So I have played and I am looking forward to winning. But
congrats.
I want to know how is the process going to be done from here without going back home?
you'll have when you are going to fill the DSC 260. When you applied for the DV lottery, where did you put that you live?
I live in Rwanda.
No, you live in Rwanda, but in the DV lottery application, you said, where do you live now? Did you put it, you live in Rwanda, or you say in Liberia?
No, I say Rwanda.
So when you applied, you said in Rwanda. If you say you live in Rwanda, by default, the application, the interview will be in Rwanda. In the place, like in the DV lottery application, there is a question. Let me find that one. Let me find that so that you can understand what I mean. One sec. Give me a sec. I'm going to look for the. I want to show you what the implication usual. Okay. So this is the DV lottery form, DV lottery application form. When you are filling this form, you put your name, gender, place of birth, blah, 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 the country of birth out there. Then you come here, they tell you put the address here. This is not important. But here they say country where you live today. So if you say I live in Rwanda, when you win the DV lottery, the interview, the DV lottery application, the winning letter, it will have the what? It will have the interview location. The interview location, by default, it will be the country where you live today. So your interview location will be in Rwanda. So let me show you one thing. I want to find out if it will be there, not this one. Not this one. I don't have here. But your interview location will be in Rwanda. And when you are going to fill the visa form, you will be told to choose the location. So in the DSC 260, when you enter the information, by default, it will tell you the location of the interview is Kigali, Rwanda. Do you want to keep Rwanda, or you want to go to do in Freetown, Liberia? So if you want to go back to do in your home country, you can change the location. But because you live in Rwanda, the interview will be in Rwanda.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Another question.
Yes.
So about the living expenses and other stuff, what are the states that you advise that people go in? Like for me, I'm a student here, and when I come to the US, I want to.
So for me, I would advise you to live in any state. Let me give you the map a little bit, and then we can move from there. Once we have a map, will it be easier to explain certain few things. So this is the map of United States. So if you look at this map, if you live any state around here in the middle of the United States, it is very, very affordable. Any state around here is good. That's number one. What makes expensive? Obviously, Hawaii is expensive. Alaska is expensive. California is very expensive. Oregon, Washington, not very expensive compared to California. But if you talk about New York, New Jersey area here, around here, it's also expensive around this area. If you go to Massachusetts here, especially Boston, it's very expensive. Going to Northern Virginia, DC area here is expensive. But if you come West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina is a little bit expensive, but not expensive like South Carolina. You go to Georgia, no more. Florida is very expensive. Alabama, very cheap. Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Arkansas, Kansas, Oklahoma, all these states are affordable. But if you go west, a little bit expensive. Nevada is a little bit expensive, but not expensive like Utah. So the more you go into the middle of America, it's cheaper. But the problem of northern states, these states, you're talking about Idaho, Wyoming, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, all these states, Michigan, is very, very cold. You go these states because they are closer to Canada. is the upper you go is very, very cold. So that is number one to look at, these kind of things. So most of the states around here are good. I cannot say you must go to Colorado or you must go to Nebraska. No, you can look like if you have a host there to start your life with, but any state you get here will be good. So for instance, if I have a host, one in California, one in Texas, obviously I'll choose someone in Texas. If I have a host, one says I'm in Pennsylvania, another one says I'm in Kentucky. Personally, I'll go to Kentucky. If someone is in New Jersey and another one is in Oregon, I'll choose Oregon. If someone says I'm in Oregon, another person says I'm in Ohio, I'll choose Ohio. So there is even if they are not expensive, but there are states, and the state will depend on one another.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then some people they can start looking like some. Let's say, for instance, someone, let's say, is from Somalia. They want to have a place where there are all Somali people. So many Somali people, they prefer to go to Minnesota, because Minneapolis or Minnesota is the place where there are so many people from Somalia, apart from Somalia, than any other place. So some people say, I don't want to go, and wherever I look, I see someone. Like someone say, I want to go to this place because there are not many immigrants, so that I can have more opportunities as a brand new than going to a place where there are already so many people. So each person has different preferences on what to choose.
Okay, that's okay. But so someone around Pennsylvania, I have someone around Pennsylvania. What if my host is around Pennsylvania and I want to maybe move around this cheaper states that you talk about? So is it going to be easy for me? Because I look at the map just now, it is some of them are apart from Pennsylvania, right?
Yes.
So I want to know.
So for instance,
Yeah.
like Pennsylvania is a good state, but so it depends on other factors. For me, if I'm going to live in any state, for me at this moment, I'm not going to live in any state where it is run by Democratic Party, because most of the states are highly Democratic Party are having a lot of crime. That is the reason. So if that is the case, I'm not going to look more into that. Yeah, so that is something we need to pay attention to. Like, for instance, Pennsylvania is good, but there are more crime compared to Ohio. California is beautiful, but there are so many crimes at the moment compared to Nevada. Oregon now, especially Portland, have so many crimes compared to Washington. So there are other factors. Again, some people, they can, oh, I'm not going there because there are so many crimes. If you go, for instance, you go to Chicago, which is Illinois here, is more, I mean, there are so many crimes compared to Indiana. And even if you go to that one, even if we say Missouri, someone who lives in St. Louis has more crime than someone who lives in Kansas City. So within a state, again, there are certain places. So within Pennsylvania, there are certain cities like Pittsburgh, whatever, all those kind of like wherever you look at certain states, they might have certain states which are good. Certain cities are good. Certain cities are not good within the same state.
Okay.
So if you want to move, you'll be able to move to find a job another place and move.
Okay.
Yes.
So another question was that because the job, as for me, I am only a high school diploma, and I want to know which type of job suits my qualification.
So most of the jobs you're going to get, most of them, they are just, I mean, even if you have a degree, most of the job when you come to America, there will be, we call general labor jobs. Meaning, you come here, you are not expected to be a manager. You come here, you find most of the jobs like warehouse jobs. Let me give you an example. You come here, let's say you say warehouse. You'll find so many jobs. So, for instance, I put just here, you said like there is a $19 jobs to work as warehouse. So someone working is handling packages. You get used on, but you have to find the wherever city you are to be able to get something which you see is something you want in one way or another. So most of the jobs you're going to get, there will be not so much job like expert, but there will be jobs like of this nature. So for instance, where I live is Belton, Missouri. So I can click Belton here, for instance, and I can look around the job for warehouse around. So $15 to whatever. So this will be something around which I'll be able to apply. So with the time, then you are starting with getting work experience, then you can start moving around, getting more jobs or different jobs, kind of that. But at the beginning, to get certain kind of job is becoming difficult because you don't have work experience.
Okay. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. Thank you.
You are welcome. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Okay. Joseph, you asked me on the question that are the principal applicants and the wife also meant to produce their birth certificate even if they have their passport? Yes, from Joseph from Uganda. It doesn't matter whether if you are the winner and any derivative or dependent, your wife or your spouse in general, your children, you must have birth certificate and you must have the passport. Both of the documents are required. There is no exception for that. You must have both of them. Okay, Peter, you can unmute if you have a question to ask. Okay, I don't know. He's not having a question, so. Someone is asking New York and Texas, which one do you advise? Oh, that is very, very easy question for me. Obvious Texas. Between New York and Texas, Texas is a very, very better state compared to New York. Number one, the reason why Texas is better, number one, Texas doesn't have the state income tax. New York has the highest state income tax. Number two, there is a very high crime rate in New York. There is a very small crime rate compared to Texas. For the economy wise, nowadays, Texas is getting bigger in the economy. Yes, they have oil, they have other things, but majority of people are moving to Texas because there are so many benefits. There are so much things going on in Texas compared to New York, where nowadays is going to be a dead city. I mean, it's just like everything is collapsing in New York. Then, when it comes to some people, they don't like it cold, whatever, New York compared to Texas. So it's up to you. But overall, Texas is better in so many aspects compared to New York. So that's why you see many people are moving away from Texas. I mean, people are moving from New York going to Texas. Yes, hello? 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 Peter, you are joining. Okay, I'm removing you because you don't speak. So I've already answered the question from Joseph. Please, when you join the military, do they get paid when you are on the training or you are paid after training? From the first day you arrive on the training, you are already military personnel. You are starting getting paid for that. So yes, you are starting getting paid from training. Continuing, yes. question is, can you please talk about affidavit of support? Which embassies do require the affidavit of support? I don't have on top of my head which embassies, like the list of embassies which require, the list of embassies which don't require. But usual, if the embassy if that embassy requires the affidavit of support, usually they will tell you among the information they need from you is the affidavit of support. And if, let's say, you don't get it, they're not going to deny you the visa. They'll tell you, we are not giving you the visa right now. We are holding the information. Go and bring, within this number of days, go and bring the affidavit of support. So if you go to the embassy without the affidavit of support, what they will do is to tell you, go and get that document. It's just like if you shop without a police clearance, they will hold the process. They'll say, go and get the police clearance. So I do not know which embassies. I know, for instance, like in East Africa, Kenya embassy require, Tanzania embassy doesn't require, US embassy in Tanzania doesn't require. So that is an example. So it will depend. And even in the bilateral winners who are in the US, some of the offices in the US will require the affidavit of support, some they don't. So that depends. Ramez says, hello, EBM. Thanks for these videos. We need more of these lives. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. The few minutes ago, you hear the alarm. It was like phone calling. That was the alarm for me to finish because I'm getting ready for have a work meeting in that way. Okay. Hi, EBM. I have been applying for the DV lottery with zero child, but of recent, I did a DNA and it turned positive. What do you advise if I'm selected? You are allowed to come with that child. You can create it, you can present that case. There will be no problem. They're not going to deny, because at the time of applying, you knew you didn't have a child, but you have a proof that I came to realize I did the DNA and I was told I'm a father. So that is a different process. If you are a father and you didn't put your child. But don't say, I didn't try, I've done the DNA today, but on the birth certificate, you're already there as a father. Because it has to appear that at the time of application, you didn't have any clue that you have a child somewhere until maybe a couple of years later, someone told you, oh, you have a father. I mean, you're a father of this particular child. Yes. But if you're on the birth certificate that you knew and he signed on the birth certificate that you're a father, you signed. Oh, that is a different story. Charles from Kenya. Does it require children passport to fill the DSC 260? Yes. If you want a child to come to America, yes. But if you are saying I have a child, but it's not coming with me to the United States, they don't have to have the passport. The passport will be required if they are coming with you. And if they are coming with you because they will fill a separate DSC 260, that's when they will need to have the DSC 260, they will need to have the passport. But if they're not coming, you don't need to have the affidavit of support. Yes, hello?
Good morning, sir. I have another worry. Sorry for coming back.
Yes.
Please, I wanted to ask, is the delay in processing my DS260 due to the fact is it due to the fact that I unlocked the DS260 before I send it back, or it is a normal situation?
It's a normal. Each person is a case number, so the number is determining. For instance, there is a question here. Let me give you an example. Manibu says his case number is 47,000, and our embassy is in Cairo. Do you have the embassy? Can you reach our number before the end of the fiscal year in September? since many say that the Cairo embassy is very, very crowded. So, for instance, person like Monib, this one, 47,000 will be interviewed no matter what. The embassy in Cairo is not that very crowded. Like if you compare, for instance, like the embassy in Nairobi. Because embassy in Cairo is mostly processing people in Kenya. I mean, in Egypt. But the embassy in Kenya is processing Kenyans, Ugandans, and also some people from South Sudan, and some people from Burundi. So you're not that crowded as you think.
Hello,
Yes,
EBM.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Thank you. EBM, I have two questions today.
Yes.
One question is concerning the DV lottery, and the second one is about the community colleges.
Yes.
So my first question is, since I'm here in Dubai, if I win the diversity visa lottery, do I still need a police clearance for my home country as well, or only here in Dubai?
Yes, you need to have a police clearance in all countries you have lived after the age of 16. So let's say at the age of 15 you moved to Dubai. No, you don't need it. But because you left your country to go to Dubai after the age of 16, obviously you need it from your country, police clearance, and also you need police clearance from where? From Dubai, because that's where you live today. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, EBM. Thank you very much. And about community colleges, I want to ask, what is the rate of acceptance for international students? Like
usual community colleges is not I mean, because there are so many, is not difficult to get into community colleges for two reasons. Number one reason, because you are going to pay your own. You are not applying for scholarships. So if you have good results, you have higher chance of getting them. And most of community colleges, they don't have a lot of international students, because most of the community colleges are smaller colleges in smaller cities sometimes. But if you say, I'm looking for community college, for instance, like Oxnard or in LA, yes, it will have so many international students. Yes, you might not get a chance sometimes. But if you're looking for community colleges, like let's say somebody's in Ohio, Columbus, you're going to another city, it's easier to get community colleges because you're paying for yourself. Yes.
Okay, EBM. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, there's a question from Joseph. How can I inquire a host or a sponsor if I win the DV lottery? And how much winners given does it take to fill the DSC 260 form? So, number one, there are a few questions. The host sponsor thing. Host is not a sponsor. Let's separate the two things. Host is a place where you're going to stay, hosting you. Sponsor, you are talking of the person who is filling the affidavit of support. That is called a sponsor. But there can be one person, there can be two people different. A host can be international student, can be someone working in the US, can be a green card holder, can be a US citizen. As long as someone is illegal in the US can host you. But a person who is filling affidavit support must have two qualifications. Number one, immigration status, meaning the person must either be a US citizen or a green card holder. Number two, the person must have a certain type of income, certain threshold must have to meet the poverty line, whatever that line. So that is something you need to know for a sponsor. On my end, I'm not feeling affidavit of support of any person on myself. Whether you give me $1, whether you pay me, you don't pay me, I don't care. On hosting, so there are two things on hosting on my service. Number one, currently, I don't have a house to host people. I have people I can recommend. They are hosting people. So there are people I know, good friends, they have 2-3 houses, they can host you for reasonable amount. That's something else. But there are some people want to use my address. So for instance, if I'm filing for someone for the DSC 260, I file the form, whatever, I can use my address if you don't have any address. I don't charge, even if you don't use my service. If you want to use my address to use on the DSC 260, I don't charge any person to use my address. But you are not coming to stay at my house. And the mail will come to me. For instance, let me give you an example. This one, I don't know if you can be able to see. Oh, this is very, you cannot see clearly. But this one is the immigration, the letter I got yesterday is from for Kivumbi Haruna, care of Ernest B. Makulilo. You cannot see from that angle. It comes to me, and then from here, I will send it to the person. Social Security come here, and then I send to the person. I even don't open, I send to the person. So that's how it is. Yeah. That is the service I offer. So if someone wants me to file, but the bigger part is for me, while they come to America, I give them the guidance, help them to find a host, help them to start their life, help them to know about finances, help them to do about jobs. So you have series of conversation with me on how I do that. Please, how do I get police clearance and where? Most of the countries, you go to the police stations. So some, they might go with the Ministry of Interior or Ministry of Home Affairs. They give that one. Some, the Central Police will be the one giving you that letter. So depending on where you are, which one, what are they going to do? But most likely, you go to the police station where you live. They'll be able to give you that. Hello, EBM. What is your opinion about coming of Trump as the president and his planning to ban the DV lottery totally? Number one, let me answer this question very, very in detail because it's the most lying thing. People are lying. So, President Trump, in the year 2019 going to year 2020, he said he was thinking, obviously, President has no power. Let's start with that one. President has no power to ban green card lottery. Why? Because green card lottery was established by the Act of Congress. So what the president is going to do is to take the major legislation to the House of Representatives, to the Senate, to change the diversity visa lottery. But the president by himself or herself has no power, has no authority to ban that one. So what did Trump say? The problem is the media is just fake news because they are changing the narrative. Trump said, I'm planning to ban the diversity visa lottery because it doesn't have vetting processes. It allows someone maybe with a PhD, someone with a standard 7, both to apply and both have more chances the same. Europe doesn't have that opportunity because they want certain people who are helping the economy. So he said, we want to ban this one to establish immigration like Canada. But the media, especially most of the CNN, didn't continue the quotation, what he said. He said, we need to bring more people for work, not through lottery. That's what he said. If I become president, for me, I will change the DV lottery to be for people who are already in America, regardless because the DV lottery winner application will be for only people who are already here, because these people already know, they know how to work, they know the cash and other things. And the people who are outside the United States, I will establish, if I'm the president, more work visa programs so that they can come through visa and they can apply lottery while they're here. Barack Obama said, while he was the president, the problem is when the narratives. Obama said, why do we bring people here in America to give them full funded scholarships and they finish, they go to their countries? Why these people should not be given the green card? And we are giving the lottery. So people who are questioning the lottery is not just Trump. Go and listen to the speech of Bill Clinton on Congress when he called the immigrants who are coming wherever here, like illegal or illegal. Bill Clinton, the one who said we have to build the wall while he was the president. Hillary Clinton voted for the wall, back was a senator. Trump copied the Bill Clinton's quotation, put it there, oh, the guy is racist. The problem now is just like to do this stupidity, like right now, we take it as simple, all the people coming through the border without, as illegal, and you are not able to catch the person because the Democrats are in power. So everybody is against illegal immigration, whether it's Trump, whether it's not Trump, whatever it is. But Trump cannot change those kind of immigration. They have to get 60% of Senate votes. So it doesn't matter whether it's Trump or whatever. So green card lottery will be there. And if it's going to be taken away, will be taken away in order to bring another aspect of adding more people who are coming to America through merit-based immigration. That's what Australia has. That was Canada has. Canada doesn't have immigration, which is a lottery for everybody. Why don't we call Canada a racist? Because Trump said that we want to ban this of the system like that one to bring other people, or like Australia is going to bring people for work. So I don't care whether you are which opinion you want, but even myself, if I become a president, I will change the lottery system. So I'll change the lottery system to be for people who are already in America and people who are outside to come, more student visas, more work visas, more internships, more volunteering. Those are the things I will emphasize more than the lottery. Lottery will be, once you arrive here, we know that you're already here, you know you haven't committed, now you can apply the lottery while you're already here. That will be something very, very good in that particular way. Please, when will the DV 2025 interviews begin after the results released on May 20? After the results released on May 4. Interviews start all the time. Interview for the DV winners is going to start on October 1st, and the last day is September 30th. That is the DV lottery interviews. That is the fiscal year. October 1st is the interview start, the first day of the fiscal year. So the year 2025, even if now we are 2024, but October 1st, 2025 is the first day of the fiscal year of the US government. So 2025 starts October 1st until 2025, September 30th. That is the end of the fiscal year. So the interviews are going to be conducted at that particular time. So I have to end my live now because I have 10 minutes to go for a meeting. Okay, thank you so much, and I apologize for anyone who I haven't answered their questions. I really appreciate. I will try possible every single day to be coming live if possible, and I wish everybody who is having a dream, whether to come to America, whether to go to Paris, going to other countries, to get into that plane and be able to have their dream to succeed in one or another. Always remember that these opportunities are available, and if you don't win the green card lottery, it's not the end of the world. You are not the only person who is applying for the diversity visa lottery. Many people are applying. Some will be able to win, some might not win, but in the end, it's a lottery. Don't lose hope. Keep applying. While at the same time you are applying, you are looking for other opportunities. In the meantime, if you go to this particular website, which is called ebmscholars.locals.com, It's a platform where you'll be able to see most of my jobs, opportunities, scholarships, wherever. I'm going to be posting on that link. So that is where you'll be able to see a lot of things. Thank you, and may God keep blessing you. Until next time, bye-bye.